So let me introduce you to our guests. Joining us from the Bharatiya Janata Party is Mr. Tom Vadakan, spokesperson. Mr. Santosh Kumar, Comrade Santosh Kumar is from the Communist Party of India. We have with us Mr. Manav Jaiswal, who is from the Trinamool Congress, and Ms. Seema Malik is from the Nationalist Congress Party. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with us. Mr. Jaiswal, what about the TMC, sir?
Very good evening to everyone, and namaskar to the nation. Well, this is one of the most important session, I would say, for the country at large. Coming forward, 2024, we have an election for the nation, and you know how the presidential election will actually evolve around the development of the country and for the preservation of the constitution. Today, the fight is how the constitution has been, tattered all day, all in and all out by none other than the BJP. You know, there have been a couple of instances where Mr. Modi, basically the BJP had called for all party meet, and when Mr. Modi is absent. This is how the Prime Minister of the country is trying to talk to the opposition and make the federal structure stronger. We have a lot of reservation regarding how the federal structure, how the different bodies of the administration, from the ED to the CBI to the press to the media, how they have been, killed and how they have been tampered all over India, and how you know what it is. And as you know how the presidential election is coming up now, and you know what ED is doing, where CBI is stationed, where other, the guns of this BJP is being pointed to. We also have a huge concern about the people of the country. People are in distress financially, economically. The country is going down.
Okay.
You could see the dollars are already hitting 80 plus. We have a Prime Minister, while he was a CM, he used to talk about how the Prime Minister is getting weaker and weaker, just as the rupees. Now I need to know how the Prime Minister is strong enough to be as what the rupee is. We have to talk to the government. Okay. We have to talk, but we don't have words. You know how the words have been expunged. Betrayed, corrupt. Now भ्रष्टाचार जैसे शब्द को अगर ये बंद कर देते हैं, बैन कर देते हैं, तो हम किसके साथ आते हैं? बेरोजगारी, unemployment. There are a lot of words, they are just trying to expunge. We just want to talk. But how do we talk? This government does not want to listen to anyone. They've gone blind. It's just how the English went blind to the misery of India during the famine. You know how the country has evolved in the last 70 years? What have you and me or what of our predecessors has done to this country? They have made us proud. So what this government has done in the last 7 to 8 years has only made one thing for sure. They have made money for BJP and their lives. The rest of the country,
let me bring in Mr. Tom Vadakan.
BJP are on the positive. They're not positive. Multi-billion dollar.
Fair enough. You've raised several issues. Let's not go.
7, 8 years.
Fair enough. Now you're targeting the government, but you've raised a number of issues which we'll discuss. The main issue that I think everyone seems to be raising, Mr. Vadakan, isn't it, Mr. Jaiswal? I mean, what would you say?
Well, I've got something to think about. Basically, it's quite appalling when you hear some words like discussion. Parliamentary discussion. My friend from the BJP, a senior person, it's appalling. Out of 134 bills that have been passed, only 13% have been discussed. 73% of the budgetary bills that were passed, out of 73% have not been discussed. You are passing 4.22 ordinances every 10 ordinances. No discussions. What is ordinance meant for? It's meant for emergency plan. What is your emergency plan? To do notbandi. What is your emergency plan? To have the lockdown. What is your emergency plan? कि लाशों का अंबार बिछा रहता है गंगा में और आपके प्रचारक बंगाल में इलेक्शन लड़ते रहते हैं. This is our emergency plans. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra was about to call and talk to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was not available because he was fighting an election. Now, for emergency for you is election. That is why the presidential election is so important.
Well,
you want election.
I'll let Mr. Tom Vadakan come in, but he's mentioned something right at the beginning, an issue that perhaps we need to discuss about the 200 crore vaccinations that also took place. That was also, in a sense, that was also an emergency in a sense. Mr. Vadakan, yeah.
But they were doing. Modi had to
why don't they talk about the unemployment? I really don't know.
Mr. Vadakan is speaking. I think you'll have given him enough issues to talk about. Let him
talk about the
respond.
vaccine.
Please, ma'am. Please, Mr. Jaiswal, please, Ms. Malik, please let Mr. Vadakan speak.
Listen, you have to
Yeah.
understand.
No, I get your point.
Can I add something? Give me a
I
second.
get your
Give me a
point,
second.
sir.
We have to sympathize and have some empathy for the people of this country. You have let people down and dusted for your own benefits. For Madhya Pradesh, you were looting Madhya Pradesh.
Why don't
Madhya
you
Pradesh,
talk about
you were looting Madhya Pradesh
unemployment?
government.
Sir, why don't you
That's
talk
up
about
to the
unemployment?
people to decide.
The
I mean, that's
price
why we have a
hike.
democracy. But you're not even allowing the government to speak. You're not letting the government respond.
The manufacturing
Go.
hub
Go
for
ahead.
bombs, killing of people, law and order. Are these issues not to be discussed?
Yes.
Because you don't like it? You talk about
We like it. We
talk
love
about your
it.
own
We
state.
discuss.
What
We
is
are
your
very
interest?
Simply we want to talk about unemployment. Why you are not talking about that? You are talking about vaccination.
Press conference.
What are you
Of course.
talking about?
Give a press
Madhya
conference.
Pradesh. You look after your own state.
No.
Bring law and order.
Don't.
That-
Okay,
Now
I
they
think
will talk about the
I think
vaccine.
let us look at issue by issue. If you don't mind, gentlemen, I think you'll have gone. We've taken this too far. Mr. Jaiswal, I don't want it to be a monopoly between you and Mr. Vadakan, of course, since
No,
he
but
has
I
to
need to
respond
add
to all
something.
three of
I need to
you.
add something.
So I'd like to
Give
hear
me
also
a
from the
second.
other from our other guests.
But
Yeah.
give me a second. It's very
Very-
exciting. This whole debate of yours. My gentleman from the BJP, he just said the ordinance is meant for coming the emergency. So he wants to say in last 8 years there is an emergency. That's what I want to understand. It's an emergency in the country. Thank you, sir. We've been shouting it.
Okay.
You have just accepted it.
Let's-
To read the constitution first before coming
Thank
to
you, sir.
television.
Thank you so much.
Why is it
Okay.
ordinance?
Let the
Mr.
Prime Minister,
Why is
let
it
the Prime
ordinance?
Minister know that it's
Read
an
the
emergency, state of emergency in the
constitution, you have
country of
no
India.
knowledge.
If the parliament is
Wow.
not functioning and it's being disrupted as we have seen in the past, then the
Yes,
government
exactly.
has no other
The
executive.
parliament belongs to the opposition, as by late
No, it
Arun
belongs
Jaitley
to.
said. That was ex-minister.
No,
You're now the
No, we
founder
have
member of the BJP.
You want
It
discussion
has a
on
legislative.
that.
It has a legislative function, but if it doesn't, right? Okay, I think my producer is telling me that we are going nowhere. So I think let's bring back some decorum. Mr. Jaiswal, let's. Mr. Jaiswal, let's not go. Let's not.
You have accepted that it's a state of emergency. Thank you.
No, let me bring in
Thank you.
Mr. Santosh Kumar. Yes. So you and so that we leave it there. Thank you very much.